But if you close your eyes,
understand female hormones. Like, I have a 28-day cycle. You prance by in your 5-inch inseam Gymshark shorts, and it's like I could be ovulating.
Hi everyone, my name is Duffy Ward. I'm 18 and I've been going to the gym consistently since I was 14 years old. My dad was a power lifter back in college. He can leg press 1,000 pounds. Like, he goes to the gym way more consistently than I do, but I used to go to the gym with him. So I've gotten, and now I go to the gym by myself, so I've gotten like the perspective of like the muscle iron moving bro, and like I do Pilates now because my school offers free Pilates. What I've learned looking at these far two ends of the spectrum is that there's no way to win in these workout areas if you're a woman. Not even if you're a woman, like working out has become so gendered. Like it's insane to me how something as simple as like exercising your body has become gendered. And not even on the biological front of, oh, if you're training a physique that's masculine versus a physique that's feminine. Oh, if you're training a physique and you're someone who was born as a male versus born as a female, and like working with your cycle and stuff like that. Not even that, but there's like male ways to work out and woman ways to work out, and it's just stupid. So I thought today I'd take like a brief, unprofessional look at what it's like sort of dealing with all this stupid sexism in the gym. First thing, sexualization of women and men. Interestingly enough, I found that some of the men that I meet in the gym are extremely kind. I would go at 4 in the morning with my dad because he's an early riser, and it's like, it's all these old men who are just like, hey kiddo, how you doing? They were so sweet. They were so sweet. So I never really got to see a very diverse crowd while I was at the gym, but I know they do exist. I focus less on the sexualization itself, but the discomfort that women can often feel in the gym when men take up a lot of space. I've been in the gym and had to grunt or groan, like you're lifting a thing up and it's like, oh, or whatever. But I've seen men, they slam the weights and they scream and they're like, ah. And even my dad, who's like leg pressing 1,000 pounds, does it responsively. What I see overwhelmingly with men in the gym is that it's not necessarily this idea of discomfort from sexualization alone, although that does happen. They just don't have any respect for the area. And women do it too, but on average, it's the men who are taking up the space and making it feel uncomfortable. On average. That's not all of them. I mean, when you suck, you suck. When you're a dick, you're a dick. It doesn't matter what you identify as. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, when you suck, you suck. But on average. Number 2, the genderization of heavy lifting and bulkiness. There's actually a lot of really interesting intersections between the rise of fascism and the rise of thinness. I don't know, look into it. There are a lot of great articles that can articulate it a lot better than I can. But there's a really interesting intersection between like keeping the demure feminine figure and the rise of more conservative politics. But beyond that, women are often discouraged from becoming too bulky because it's not considered feminine. Firstly, the majority of the time when women lift, they're not going to end up looking masculine. Like, when I lifted, I ended up honestly feeling the most feminine I ever have. Because it's the only way to really build that, like, quote-unquote hourglass figure. When you develop your shoulders and your back and your glutes, like, that literally, it physically builds it. Like, you can't spot reduce fat. So it literally builds it out for you. Weightlifting is fantastic for us on all different ways. But then again, on the opposite way, you see men being discouraged from doing like Pilates or yoga because they think it's too feminine. And then you get like the example of football players doing ballet and they find it super hard. The muscles that are targeted in something like Pilates or yoga is very different from the muscles that are targeted in weightlifting. And they're both, I dare say, equally important. Flexibility is so important as you get older. I mean, like, I dare say it's more important than strength in some ways. Flexibility, mobility, these things are so incredibly important. And yeah, you can probably lift like 100 pounds, 200 pounds, but you can't touch your toes. You can't touch your toes. There's so many different muscles that are targeted, and there's so many different ways to approach them. And when we privatize these spaces, or make them feel unwelcome to someone, or make them feel like they're stepping outside of what's normal, why is there a normalcy around the kind of workout you can have? Why? And also, why is Pilates considered weaker just because it's more feminine? Like, you're sure I'm not like 1,000 pounds over my head, but I'm freaking pretzeled and holding myself up, and I bet that you couldn't do that, and I bet I can't do what you're doing, and that's fine. But what if we tried? Number 3, a disregard for the fact that working out is nuanced. For the longest time, I couldn't make progress in my working out. I would lift heavy, and that worked great for building muscle. I am built to build muscle, but it's not what I wanted. I didn't necessarily want to bulk up. I wanted to be toned while like gaining flexibility and lengthening, because I'm already so short. I wanted to like lengthen what I had, but I was just packing on muscle. It was awesome because I got really buff, and I could like, if I did this, I can't do it anymore, but it would like, I'll show a picture, but it doesn't do it justice. It was so cool. I recommend just getting freaking buff at one point in your life if you can, because that was the coolest thing. But that's not what I wanted, and it's because I was following men for fitness advice. I was following like tall women for fitness advice. I wasn't following other women who are 5 foot. And then I found these creators who were talking about like, I'm 5 foot. This is what works for me. This is what hasn't worked for me in the past. And because the composition of all of our bodies are so different, and height especially is a factor that plays into that, we need to be listening to advice from people who are similar to us. And it's so infuriating when I hear somebody tell me, well, you need to be lifting more weights, or you're not lifting heavy enough. Dude, I have, but that's not what I want. That's not what I want for me. And that's not what's most effective for me at this point in my life. Just because it's for you doesn't mean it's for me. And we need to accept in the gym that we all have different goals, and that shaming one another is not going to get us closer to them. And that ties back to the theme of sexism, primarily in that saying, there's a lot of noise for men and women on these modes of what we should do. There's a lot of noise primarily rooted in the patriarchy for women's primary goal to be in the gym to lose weight. It even affects me. Like, there was a time in my life where I was incredibly thin, but my goal when I got into the gym each day, lose more weight, lose more weight, lose more weight, when I didn't have any to lose. That's tangential, but it is something I wanted to include. So the message of today is that there is so much noise in the world of fitness. There's a lot of noise in what we should do, what we shouldn't do, and it can sometimes be geared to you by your gender. If you're a man, lock the door, cover the lights, close the windows, and turn on a Pilates video just to try it out. And you may walk away and be like, oh, that was easy. Girls have it so easy. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Fine, but at least you tried it. At least you put in an effort. At least you listened and you tried. And maybe try it again, just to see. And if you're a girl who's scared of being bulky, try it for a week. Research a little bit. Don't make an assumption based on your own fear. Anyway, it costs you nothing to throw on a video and just try it for 10 minutes. And I promise you'll be a more well-rounded person for it. And there is not a lot we can do in our day-to-day lives to battle against the patriarchy and against the concept of sexism that's rooted in these large systems. There's not much we can do day to day to day, but the simplest steps we can take is emotional revolution through our actions and through the destruction of our perceptions. Hold on. Sorry, bars got messed up by my friend being, come in, you can come in. You can come in. Hi.
What do you mean?
Moral of the story, Go stretch. Go lift something. And for the love of God, get off your computer. Not my channel. This makes me money. That makes me happy. Watch this video again. Why not? But then get off your computer. All right. Much love. Be a good person. Bye-bye. Oh, crap. And then I took the stairs up to my building, which kept my heart rate up. So I went from Stairmaster to basically treadmill to Stairmaster again. I just killed a fucking bug. Oh my god, ew, ew, ew. I don't even know what I want to talk about. I just know I don't want. Everything's spinning. Do I look buff? I'm not there yet. I'm not where I used to be.